Yes, people, welcome back to our next live episode of the Garage Podcast. Tonight we have a good friend of mine and a
Special
special
guest.
guest, Dandy. What's the name of the ice cream store again?
Dandy's Ice Cream Shop. Oh, Dandy's Ice Cream Shop.
The best ice cream in the Bronx. Maybe all of New York, please check them out at, what's the address?
3632 White Plains Road,
Okay.
Bronx, New York.
Yeah, I think she gave up what the beauty supply store, so yeah. Anyway, you sold it for like $1 million.
She sold it
Yeah,
for
I
$1
wouldn't
million.
be here.
I don't think she would be here.
You wouldn't be here if you sold it for $1 million? $1
No.
million? $1 million is not a lot of money.
I mean, as we are a good friend and you had this, maybe I would still be here.
Yeah, of course.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yes, and
All it takes is one phone
my
call.
partner in crime, Michael Porter.
Yes, people. Good night.
Myself, Michael. Yes, so we're gonna be talking about business tonight, right? What? MSME, medium, small, micro size business. Right, because Dandy's a business owner. She's been a serial entrepreneur for like a while, a long time. And we have a lot in common where business is concerned. Like just like how I'm always thinking about something new, thinking about how we could improve on certain business, or we could elevate certain business. She's the same. We talk for like hours and hours and hours about business and business ideas. Yeah. It's just like how me and you talk. When we start talking, it's like a lot. Yeah. So Dandy kind of have me up because we haven't been talking for a minute now, I think, things and
abandoned
time
ship,
change
huh?
because
Yes,
sometimes life just, hits you. And you start dealing with a
Or
lot
Trump just hit you.
lot
You
more
just
stuff. No, it doesn't have anything to do with Trump. It's more like the Biden administration.
Yeah, I know he was
But
going to go
everything
there.
is good now. When Trump was in power before, we used to talk a lot more. Yeah,
that's
Biden took.
that's his homie.
Yeah.
But Trump is back now, so the communication should be like here.
Yeah. We getting there. We getting there. We getting
As
there.
long
It's
as
just
he know what to fix.
cause like what I used to do before it's not like I'm in the same place. I'm in a different place. We're dealing with different management and excuse me. Things are like a lot more stressful at work and stuff like that. But nevertheless,
Yeah, he disappeared
yeah.
on me and his goddaughter. Yeah, let's bring that up.
He's still trying to cushion and try to.
But he's okay.
So we're gonna jump into it. Dandy has like a vast amount of knowledge where business is concerned. I would think, just like you, Mr. Porter. Yeah, that's so. You would love having a conversation. Cause when I recommend someone,
Right.
yeah, when you have a conversation with them like Teach and Nicole, so Dandy would be similar where business is
okay, got
concerned.
you.
Yeah.
I love business. I don't know why. It's just in me.
Okay.
I mean, that's what you love. They said, the wise man said, do what you love and you never work a day in your life.
I'm trying to catch up to that part.
After I'm speaking to the mic.
Yeah.
So when did you get this entrepreneurial mindset? Like you just get up one day and said, "Hey, I want to do business." From a younger age, you used to like trade, buy and sell stuff.
No. Well,
Cause I never asked you that before. No, like off camera, I never asked you that before.
Well, I started working for someone a long time ago. In 2023, no, 2003, and
You learned the business.
I learned the business from him. But the thing with that was it felt like I was running it myself.
Yeah.
So it was like I could do this, and then it led to why am I doing it for someone when I could do it for myself? Which I was with him 10 years, I think.
I think so.
10 my son, yeah, I was with him for like 11 years. And then it was like I couldn't do anything.
What type of business was it though, if you don't
It
mind?
was a beauty supply store. He's still in business now, but I stopped.
Well, I
working.
know, but the
No, I'm
viewers.
just yeah. It was a beauty supply store. I worked with him for about 11 years. I left because I felt that I can be more and do more.
Yeah, it was time. I
It
agree
was
with
time, right? I was doing what I could have did for myself,
you.
and it led for me leaving, opening my own in 2014, and I had it 2014 till 2024. I sold it and opened another business, ice cream store. Reason for selling was throughout time I learned that business was not fair. It's a very competitive business.
I didn't know until you actually venture off into that business on your own, until you went on your own. Because, you may be working with someone, it's just like a restaurant business, right? I started out working at Golden Crust. And I felt like I could have did that on my own. Like, if I was supposed to open a restaurant, I could do that until, you attempt to run a restaurant. Then you find out like, yo, this is way more than what I used to deal with, working for someone else. I think some of the challenges that you face were like discrimination,
A lot of that.
because your suppliers were like Chinese or Korean.
Mostly Korean.
Yeah, and like if you're a Korean business owner and you run the same business as her, and you're like 6 blocks or whatever away from
Three.
her.
Of course, you're gonna
It's
have
three.
tension.
3 blocks.
3 blocks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna have
Right.
some type of tension, and even if it was another black American or so forth, just seeing you on the block doing the same thing.
No, they do business different.
No, they
They do business
definitely do
grinding.
business different.
They'll
It's
tell you, listen,
Cutthroat, like cutting your throat. That's
we are not going to support you anymore if you still
support me.
yeah if
I-
you,
But what do you mean?
if
they're
you
not gonna
supply her-
support-
Okay, so Michael don't know. I mean, I told him, but all right. Say I had a
you're the right
supplier.
person to speak on it.
I had a supplier that supplied me since the day I opened, which I was with them about 3 years.
Mhm.
The day I opened till one day, a fellow on this like 3 blocks up from me passed by and he saw that I had what he had, like the type of stuff he had.
Sells the same thing what you were selling.
Yeah, pretty much. He kind of looked through the window, but he didn't come in. They don't really speak to you if they have no reason to. But like the next, I ordered some stuff, but it never came. Like 2-3 days later, after I saw this man, I didn't get my stuff. So I'm like, I called the company, and I was like, I ordered some stuff, but I didn't receive it. And I actually spoke to my sales guy, and he said I was actually maybe sometime in that day was gonna call me, and I said, okay, why? What happened? He said he's just letting me know that he has to close my account. And I was, furious, frustrated. And I asked him why. He said because he has a few stores that are run by family, like his brother, sister, brother, like 2 brothers and a sister.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them called and said that if they don't close my account, they're gonna take their account. Now, talking about 3 stores pulling in $30,000-$40,000 with them. I don't know if a month, a couple
Maybe
months,
more.
maybe more,
Mhm.
because that business at that time was like
Yeah.
selling. So he let them know that if they don't close my account, they will close their account. And so for set that same day, they closed my account. Even with closing the account, I said to them, okay, so you're going to close the account. I can't do much about that. I mean, I can't blame you. You're gonna pick me $3,000-$4,000, and you're gonna take somebody that spend $30,000-$40,000, right?
You talk to the viewers, and you don't have to look at that ugly guy.
Okay, I like to look at people direct, but yeah. So he closed my account, and I said to him, "So can he send what I already ordered?" He said, "No, he can't even do that." So that was the end of that era. They never thought much about it. I did try to contact the Better Business Bureau. The only thing they were saying was, which is weird, was just send the email. I did never received any response, never nothing. So I just like let it go.
Yeah, they really the Better Bureau, unless it come down to like some type of a discrimination or racist on a specific level, then they will step in. Other than that, I mean, it's like you come in my store, I don't have
to.
to.
Discrimination.
That is very much.
It is in a sense, but it's not going to pull the department of what is it? Just brain freeze for a second. That handles that side. He's not gonna really pull their interest too much unless it's become like nationally public on TV or the newscaster. Then they will step in. Other than that, if it's just 1-2 people and you mention it, they're not. He's just gonna go on deaf ears, and he's just gonna go in an inbox and just sits there. But what I would have done too, I would have fight. And how would I fight is that I would start a marketing. If I have to spend $1,000 every other week or something just to market myself out there, and then find a supplier. At the end of the day, I would have fight for you to be that malicious and specifically targeting me, because I mean I've seen business right now on White Plains Road. If you walk 2 blocks, matter of fact, one block, you would have almost the same businesses on the same block. And if you walk from White Plains, go all the way down to Gun Hill Road.
What type of business and who's running those businesses?
Restaurants or...
But who's running those restaurants?
I mean, you really find like Chinese. Like, for instance, there's a Chinese store on 238.
You have five
and then if
Caribbean
you go...
restaurant.
Huh?
Then you have 5 Caribbean restaurants.
And then you have like about 1,000 Caribbean restaurants right in the same area.
Right. So where that comes in is like, all right, so you have a meat store that supplies Golden Crust, right?
Mm-hmm.
Golden Crust are a franchise restaurant, right? So it's not one meat, what do you call it, meat store or meat supplier who supplies all the franchise or the company itself. It just supply individual franchisee, right? So Gold Star cannot go to the meat company and say, hey, don't supply Golden Crust with meat or else I'm going to close your account. Because it's not like Gold Star have like $100 million account.
Mm-hmm.
You get it? With the meat store. Right. So Dandy's account versus their account is like their account was
night
bigger.
And day.
Right. So they have like, let's say they have like a $500,000 account with the company versus, let's say, 20,000 or 100,000 or 50,000. They are willing to listen to the person with the bigger account. Fear or no fear.
That's in a logical sense.
And it's a common business practice, you know.
No, but here's the thing. So if it wasn't, it was race generated because before going into the business, remember I work for somebody, so it's every 3 blocks you can have the same business without it being a problem. So you I think he's about 4 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
What was the real reason for closing the account? They work by area. Like you literally have to be about 3 blocks, because I know that from a long time ago from working with my guy. So you just up one day and said, "Oh, I don't like this. Shut it down." And then there was a black business owned on, I think it was Allenton, because I went there when he was going out of business, just to like, you know, sometimes you want to support them too. Like, you know, I would want somebody to come if I was going out of business, and he actually went out of business, and he's going out of business because he was there for years, and then a big guy comes next to him, which happened to be the same supplier, and now you can't supply him anymore. Why? He was there before you.
They don't look on those type of business principles. It's like you come in with $20, you have this guy with $5. More likely they're gonna stick with the guy with the $20 because it's all about the money making for them, right? So there's no, you don't have
Principle,
no
right?
business principle ethics at the end of the day. They just looking at stuff like where where the money is coming in. If I have to cut mom and pop down the block for me, for me to make get a $20 account, I'm gonna do that, and they wouldn't have no conscience, of doing that. They could give a rat behind because they're making their money. They have this $20 come in. Meanwhile, you're giving them $5. They're like, yeah, whatever. Keep your $5.
Yeah, also, I think he said something about business being a lot of business on the same block or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, the reason they're not supposed to do that if it's one landlord. Say your block right here, right?
Yeah.
If the whole block belongs to one landlord, he cannot have the same business on. You can't come here and do here, and I'm next door. What happened with White Plains Road now is a lot of one block have like 2 owners, maybe 3 owners. The block is split.
Yeah.
So you put a deli there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a different landlord. I could put a deli here too. I don't have nothing to do with you. So that's why there's always so many on the same block, because one person do not own the block.
Oh, that's why that is.
Yeah.
That's how that runs out, because it's the same thing. You would have a deli right here,
Right.
and then right across the street you have a deli, and then
That's
a
a
block.
different block though.
No, on the same block. What are you
Same
talking
block?
about?
Right.
Same block. But that's what she said. I mean, I didn't know that, but what she said, if the owners are different for that
block.
area or that block, then yeah, you could have store. I've seen one down at I think it's 233rd on White Plains or 224, where you have 2 delis side by side. Literally side by
Business
side.
is good,
They're not fighting each other.
They're not. Yeah, that's the difference
right.
between them,
The mentality of it.
Yeah.
But
So-
the funniest thing, I mean, I think those guys, if I'm not mistaken, they are Arabs,
Yes.
And the thing where I think Mike and I were talking about one time, and even early on too, is like one of the things I like with from a business perspective, with the Jews, from a religion perspective, on unity level, the Mormons, the Jehovah's Witness, etc., they unite.
Yes. We were talking about that.
Chinese,
Yeah.
exactly, they
Yeah,
unite,
yeah,
and
I like that about them.
Yes.
that's it. And the thing, they go and they support you. You as a business owner, you want to come into the industry, and if they realize that, hey, you may not have the completely resource to get a kickstart, they will come together and put things together to get started out there. And the funniest thing is that as you get started they bring you back in that pool for someone else, especially the Chinese culture. You come over, you have, whether it's family or friend, and someone come over and they don't have squat, the entire unit
They put together and
come
they,
together.
Give them a springboard.
Yeah, and give them a springboard. And when they reach to the level of what you call a success or balance out, that same person come back in, and whoever new come in, he also or she also help build that person up. If we as a black culture, and it's sad to say this,
not doing it.
if we as a black culture would do something like my pastor shared this
I
with
wouldn't say black culture, because I think Muslim practice this,
What?
what?
Muslim group, they practice this. They actually have like a community where they give funds to people who want to open business.
No, right, you on the other side, and that's what I'm saying, that we don't support each other. Like if I see you trying to start a business, or let's say we're related and I'm maybe doing some type of a success going in the business, it would be a slim chance for me to say, you know what, Mike, let me get to my brothers, my other brothers or peoples or friend.
I mean, I practice that because
out of what, 1 million people,
if I need something, let's say self-care, or anything at the beauty supply store, I drive past all these beauty supply store, White Plains Road,
To go
Boston
support
Road.
your own.
Yeah, to go to Dandy.
Yeah, but you looking on
And the only way I go somewhere else is if she don't have it. And
Right.
and-
He always call ahead and make sure if I have.
right. And if she doesn't have it, and she say, hey, next week, I'll wait until
He
next week.
does.
But you look in. I wouldn't even put 1% on it. But you look on yourself. Let's say you put 100 people
And I
here.
don't go to the Chinese restaurant. I don't buy food from a Chinese restaurant.
I mean, I buy from them, but I just buy the like really though.
Doesn't
I buy
matter
the
what you buy.
It has to be what you recognize.
yeah, and I is vegetable lo mein. That's about it. And I really do
That's
that.
what they put the dogs.
That's where they put it. No, that's
Can't
they
wish
put
you
the
might
dogs when it's meat. When you have like.
So I wanted to go back on something he said about, I think you said about Jewish community. What they do is like say first of all, there are people that don't eat outside of their community, so they keep their support inside their community. Second, they have this thing called, I don't know if you said a pot just now, something like that.
A pot.
Okay, so
A
they
community.
have right. So what they do, Korean does it too. I'm gonna tell you what about my knowing that. What they do is like say you're upcoming newlyweds, right?
Mhm.
They have the whole community put together, buy you a house, car, and help you with money to start a business, so you don't have to start out rough.
Whoa.
They
Which
do that.
community is that?
Jewish,
Repeat that.
Jewish community.
Repeat. Oh, well,
Jewish. Yeah, I can.
I mean,
that's
this-
what I asked you.
where the Jews are concerned, you see, the Jews, they get funds
A
from
lot of
the government,
yeah,
right?
funding.
Like they get 100 billion a year,
Mhm.
and it
Is
gets
that for
distributed
retribution?
throughout the
For
yeah.
retribution?
to them for themselves.
For
Right,
retribution for
And it's
Isn't that
distributed-
waste spending?
If that's waste spending,
Uh-huh.
I would
Elon
say,
should
I would,
cut
I would no. So
no, because they consider retribution, which blacks are still
But they are
waiting
being
for.
they are being I don't want to use the word racist, but they are being what the other word there selective in their own practice. I mean, if I have a black community, I mean, would I want to go out there and support a Jewish community, like
Yo,
help build them up or stuff
the
like that? I don't know.
business that the Jewish people run, right? You have no choice but to support them. You
The
have
type of business what they run.
yeah. Even the media business, right? Your media.
I've
company.
seen some of them.
Have
Well,
to.
B&H
Where
as an
you
example.
gonna go? Tell me where you're gonna go.
I mean, there's places out there, but they
like where Micro Center.
no.
Who
You
owns
have
Micro Center?
Guitar Center. You have Micro Center. You have Best Buy.
Who owns it?
Who
The Jews. They own it.
own what?
These business Micro Center.
I'm not aware of that. But
Yeah, man.
it's I don't know. I guess for me on the production side, I mean, there's one main store in New York is B&H. It's for when it comes to technology. They have a wide and the store is small. It's not like it's an enterprise like Walmart or Best Buy where you go in the store, they're huge, smaller store. But and then the design how they have it structured. And they've been there for so long, for a year. I think they went maybe over 100 years now or stuff like that. But the unity with their
Practice.
yeah, their
But they
practice.
have
This is why one of the things why they survive so long, because number one, they stick with each other, and was what you said.
Man,
They go
don't
into
care about
business
stuff that we care about,
in
like
stuff what you
clothing
need.
and fashion
Car,
and all type of
shoes.
nonsense, bro.
They don't have no time for that.
No, that's the thing. I think that's
Have
our
you ever seen a
downfall.
Jew in a different color clothes other than
Black
black?
and white.
It's on black and white. That's it.
I mean, it's not
No,
a bad
I-
thing,
I
but
see
that's where their
Jews in
money go.
different
And then
colors.
their type of clothes, where do you get it? Only in their community.
Yeah.
They have their own tailor that
Their
will mix
own-
their own stuff. Like
They don't
this.
even buy
They
a
don't buy-
glass plate
yeah.
outside of the. If you like, all right, I've seen Jewish weddings where they order like plates and stuff, and if you touch it before they pray on it, and they only get it from their community, they break it and throw them away and buy new ones. It has to be that day. I've seen a Jewish wedding like alive, and the man made a mistake and touched the plate before the pastor pray on it, and they had to throw it away and get immediately new plates.
From that side, I know they can be fanatics in those aspects. I mean, from an even spiritual level and business wise, level when they sometimes they apply the spiritual level into their business wise, and like as what you said before, they but overall, I mean, I like their unit,
Yeah.
their
have
unit
structure,
yeah,
you know?
their
Yeah.
structure. It is well, and if we as a black community, I keep on want to refrain from using it, but it's reality, it's
You gotta
actuality.
say African American community.
Yeah, it's actuality. You know that we need to have this mindset. The problem what we have in our culture is that if I see you rising, I want to
Wanna
tear
pull the
down
plug
because
Envy.
it should be me
instead of you.
rising, right? So they're not looking and say, you know what? If sis rise,
You could probably
she
pull
would
me up
pull
the
me
ladder.
up. And give and take. There are situations where people they rise and they're like, who are you again? You know, yes, that does happen.
That do.
You know, that is reality, actuality, and so forth. But if you're gonna have in every cases or in every situation, you're gonna have somewhat type of a bad apple. Even within the Jewish community, you know, as united they may be, but you have some little stumbling block,
Rebellers.
right? Yes, rebellers or something like that within the community. There may be just 2% out of the whatever millions. I mean, but you still have it there.
It's not publicized though, you know. I think they're good at masking certain things. They keep certain
Right.
things within the community.
Could I ask a question? Have you ever seen a homeless Jewish person?
Nope.
Nah,
No, literally, like think about it. A homeless Korean,
not even
a
by
homeless,
choice.
a homeless Korean person,
Nope.
Yeah, not
Chinese.
even-
I mean, besides sometime when they go like a little mental, but I've never seen a homeless Korean person,
Because
Jewish
they take care of
person,
their own. That's
even
the thing.
Arab person. I've never
And
seen
the
a-
Arabs too. They take care of their own.
Right. So, and that's what I was saying with Koreans too, because I know when I worked for Mr. Chin, they had a thing that every month they would put like I think $70 in it. So what would happen is at the end of the year, if any one of them needed help, that would
That
go
fund.
towards right. And it's the same thing with Arabs. That's what they do. Like,
How much is $70 though?
how many stores is it?
No, it's a lot when it's like a community. I get it, but individually, how much is $70? It's not a lot, and that's easy, right? And if you fall
That's what they
on
use
your
it
face,
for, right?
you know, we give that to you. It's similar to susu or
Yeah.
we call
But
it
for your
partner.
neighborhood, yeah.
In
I
Jamaica,
never
we call it
find
partner.
Susu. I think it was a waste of time. I never see
Yeah, I'm
the
not a fan of
the
it.
logic
I think it's
to
for
it.
people
Who can't save
can't
their money.
manage money, right?
Right.
Or bad
Go
at-
to the bank.
Huh?
It's the same
I
principle.
don't even trust them either. The bank is
Yeah, I mean, well, the bank, you put your money in your bank, they lend it out, and they make a couple thousand on them. Meanwhile, they're giving
and
you
they
10
still
cents
charging you
maintenance
monthly
fees and stuff
fee.
like that. So, yeah, I mean, but at the same time, the Susu, I don't understand. I
People
never
can run
get
away
the
with their
logic.
money,
You know,
that
many
happen.
people go in there and I talk with, conversation will come up and we'll sit there and talk and says, this doesn't make any doggone sense. If you want let's say we talk about discipline. There's 3 types of accounts. One, you have a CD account. You put it away and you lock it and forget it. You can't touch it unless it's emergency areas. So you have that. Then you have another portion. It's like a same CD account, but you have flexibility inside of where you can go in there only if on a certain days or whatever the case may be and so on and such. And then you have the open account. So if you're worrying about discipline, you have these structures which is more secure where you can put your money in. Put the money in the bank, lock it for a CD, and you could set your policies and say, listen, the only time I need to pull out money out of this account, unless I bring some type of emergency situation to you, this is the only way I can pull this out.
It has advantage and a disadvantage, you know, because let's say all 3 of us here at the table, we're running like a susu, right? And you needed some money right now to start a business, right? Putting your money into like a CD account, which lasts for 6 months to a year.
You can set a time
Make
period.
it
though.
longer.
Yeah, but how much are you really gonna make on that? The bank is not gonna give you more than
But you're not, okay, so
3% maybe
But you know, forget about the percentage. You know. Remember, you are saving it based on discipline, right? So forget about the interest.
I don't think that's the purpose of a SUSU though.
So what is
it? For emergencies, yeah.
Right. I think it's to get a certain amount of cash, a short amount of time.
Or to be able
maybe
to
that
borrow
was the original foundation of it. But at the same time, people go in there just to, I don't know, because I have friends that that's in it, and they trying to get me, and I say I don't have time for waste for foolishness. This is nonsense. And I will sit there
strapped for cash. You need cash, like
but if you need cash, so here's a go. 3 of us in there, right? We're throwing $10 per hand, right? And I need this cash next week, right? Now, circumstances happen where I wind up needing this cash next week. Life changes all the time, right? Boom. Before the weekend, you have a problem too. You need cash yesterday, right?
I mean, that's her problem. The agreement.
Well, how is that problem? So, because she's in it, just like a one-minute to get emergency money.
It would be if, because the original plan is, our agreement is you're supposed to get the first hand, right? Or the first draw. So it would be your decision or your choice.
So let her go, yeah.
Right.
But then that's a conflict because if remember what Mike said, if it's designed for emergency, right? People go in there for emergency.
No, that's not what it's designed for.
So what is designed for then?
It's designed to help you save, but if you have an emergency, you can always get to a problem.
No matter how you cut it,
it's like you're getting a loan. It's like you're getting a loan, but what the oops that you'd have to jump through going to a regular commercial bank, right? You wouldn't have to do that because it's amongst your peers.
But you remember, it's your money you're saving. If you go to the commercial bank,
I get that,
you're saving your own money.
Let's say I want to purchase a car, right? Transportation to work, and we entered into a SUSU, right? And I'm getting the first draw. The first draw is $10,000. I need $10,000 to buy the car. So the time I would take to save, to accumulate $10,000, it would take months, right? Versus entering into a SUSU agreement where I get first draw, which is next week, and I get that $10,000, I buy the car right away. So I could have transportation to get to work to earn.
And then you have to pay back all of that money still.
Yeah, but with it and it's better than taking a loan because you don't
pay
interest.
I was just about to say that with SUSU, you don't have to they're gonna say, oh well, let me check your credit score because I gotta know who you are before you get
Remember, before we drift out, we are not talking about borrowing any money because remember, we are talking about in the context of you're going to the bank, if you have a discipline problem, you're going to save your money. So you're putting your money in the bank, just like how you would put aside and you on a weekly basis you will put the $10 in the SUSU. It's the same principle you would do. So now you're not worrying about loans, or the only time this will maybe become an obstacle is that, okay, you see the car on Saturday, you want the car. Most banks are closed on Saturday. So you, in a sense, would kind of stuck. But it's the same principle too, because if you're in a SUSU, you got to call somebody, hey, I need this money Sunday. Now, that person who is managing the money would either, I guess there's some routes or some things they have to do too before they release that funds, to you and say, hey, here's the funds or whatever it is. So if you have the bank, you're putting your money in, forget about the interest. You may make $20 after you finish saving. It's your money you're still going for. You're not asking the bank to borrow you.
We get what you're saying, we kind of saying the same thing. So we're agreeing, right? There's different legs to it, like different limbs to it. It's beneficial, right? And for some people, it's not. Because if you're getting the last draw, right?
Exactly.
But if you're getting the first or the second,
it's like those what they call them those Ponzi scheme thing where you come in and you bring a friend and then you bring a friend who will join, and the only people that successfully wouldn't get rich like this guy, he always have seminars. He had a few of those. those things going on. The government keep on going after them, but they keep on changing their name structure and the stuff.
I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you get rich after it. And
Ponzi schemes.
the thing is how they do it. The people who would benefit from that. So if you go in there as the
Whoever organized it.
whoever organized it and 4 other people behind that, those are the successors. After that, your grass is cooked.
I mean, it's it's
Ups and it's down.
right.
The only thing about Susu is you better trust the banker.
That too.
Oh, yeah,
That too. You know.
That banker.
So something that we want to talk about is organization that you're a part of that helps small,
Entrepreneurs.
Oh,
medium, small, and micro business
so
in our community.
yeah, it's called MPC. They're located on
What is it called?
MPC.
Stands for
I gotta tell you that later. I don't remember because we always just say MPC.
MPC,
but
right?
they're located on by Gun Hill Road, across the street from Montefiore. What they do or what they're about is they're for areas in the community, say from Gun Hill to 233rd, and they're supposed to go to each stores and talk to the business owners about like stuff that impacts their community or stuff that they need done for their community. Normally, it works well in a better organized neighborhood, but White Plains Road is what it is. How you say unruly. So a lot of time the business owners, they don't know about what they can get help with or what could be offered to them because they don't show up to the meetings that they keep. Now, far as showing up, they do need to have someone go to each individual stores and try to get like phone numbers and emails from the owners to where because they send out email about the meetings or text messages about the meetings where you could come and get like they give away free classes about business, they give away like financial help. They personally do not give you cash on hand, but they could help you go like they keep the business in the community. Say you needed your car fixed, right? Just example, you needed your car fixed, so they also have a neighborhood business that's a car place that need business. They'll say like, okay, I'm gonna send you
So let me get it straight. So MPC is the organization from the government, from like a local government.
It's from donors and
So it's like a
private,
non-profit
right? It's like a
organization.
non-profit. Yeah, they get donations.
Okay, so they get
Each year
donations
they get
from
a
like wealthy New Yorkers.
wealthy. What they're trying to do actually this year is get donation from the landlord, not like me, the renter, like my landlord. They would ask them if they could donate to their own community, like whatever you got, we put in a pot and we could try to do like light. Right now their mission is to do lights on White Plains Road to make it brighter due to the violence and the crime. So there's a lot of dark spots on White Plains Road. If you in an area where you need lights or it's in very much need of something and you contact them, they can go to the resources to get the problem fixed, I would say, or try to get the problem fixed. But they're not going to know your problem if you don't show up to this meeting or let them know what you need help with. Like, as I said, they can help you, but they're just not going to give you, like, they're not going to hand you cash on hand. They'll lead you to the source of the help.
So
I don't get it.
yeah, so I
Source
guess
of the help meaning like we have 10 stores. You have a store. Say you have a car store. I have a car. I got to use that example. So you're coming, you're part of the White Plains Road. You say, oh, business is slow. I'm not doing well, da-da-da-da-da. But I as them, oh, my car is messed up and we're at this meeting. So we actually, because my daughter got an apartment through that also. Like I went to a meeting. My daughter wanted to move and there was a lady who's there promoting her real estate. Boom, apartment, right? I mean, I got her number and she got the business and my daughter got the apartment. You understand? So it's all about socializing to networking yourself.
So MPC, right? um, MPC,
They're
they don't. They pay for the apartment, or they just lead
No,
you to?
they lead you to
They're like
right.
So they're like a broker.
No, not a broker. Say I
Well, a
met a
broker-
broker there because she came to promote herself. Business is about promoting yourself. They keep these meetings so you can meet somebody who could help you.
So it's
or
just networking.
It's
It's just
networking,
network.
but they all right. For my business, the ice cream store, I needed a new gate, right? I go to this meeting. They're like, "Oh, you know what's going on in your neighborhood? What do you need help with?" I don't really need much help on right now, but my gate is broken. Oh, we know a guy. He fixed gates. He's another business in your area. Boom. I got my gate fixed. I got a brand new
So-
gate, and they paid for it.
Oh, so that's what I'm asking.
But it's not everything they're gonna pay for. It's like it depends on the situation, like how in depth is your situation, or if they have
So
the ability to.
It's
help
probably like based on how much it would cost. So, because if you have a gate, which usually probably would cost you maybe $300 or $400 to fix,
you.
it
No,
come
I got a brand new gate. Like they came. Oh, sorry. They came and took it completely off
and put it.
put a brand completely one. Also, with the gate being new, they also had a what do you call it? Those people that do artwork, like they know an art guy. He's like business is slow. They painted him to paint a whole ice cream thing on my gate.
On your
Yeah, I
gate.
see. It looks
Beautiful,
really good.
right?
Right.
So now he gets his thing on my gate. His stuff is on the
Is
gate.
his
People
signature-
pass by and they
They
see
see
it.
the artwork.
Right,
So if they
he
would
gets
like
it,
that
right.
to be on,
and they
on
also
their
paid
gate.
for that. I didn't pay for anything. The other day they made me business flyers and poster. I didn't pay a dime. What do you need help with? Promotion. Oh, we have a guy that a girl that does flyers and business cards. We have a budget $400. Tell her what you need and that's it. And I got flyers.
So, I think related to the question where I think Mike was partially asking is like, if you like your gate as an example, your gate would, let's say roughly, it probably costs you about $1,000 to fix, right? To replace brand new and everything.
It was about
Now-
$3,000.
Or three. Okay. So now I come in, I have a problem too, and I need at least 15, 20 grand.
So what they do with that, they're not gonna give you that, but yeah, no, but I'm telling you, they have grants. They lead you to the grants, like they lead you to the application, but you have to fill it out and do the work. The problem with the grant
Oh,
now
I
is
get
they
it.
can
See,
give you
that-
the resource, like they can send you to it, but the problem with the grant, everybody's applying, so they're only gonna show you how to fill it out. Make sure you fill it out correctly if you need that help, or if you say, well, I can fill out my own paperwork, and they'll just send you the web page. Like I think the other day they sent me one with Verizon. Verizon was doing one. UPS was doing one. It was a couple of them. Something called Fannie Mae. There's a few companies out there that's giving away grants now. Maybe they're only giving away 10 slots. Like I think what's his name, Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Hart and another celebrity was doing one the other day. I did apply, but I received the email saying that they were over. A lot of people applied, so I didn't get. They lead you to stuff
Yeah,
like
too
that.
much
They can't.
application.
Right.
Mhm.
Or maybe I found
So-
out about it late and it didn't go.
So technically, then there's a cap. There's a cap of what they will distribute to
Not
as a
really.
local.
If
Not a
they're not
cap.
able to do it,
Right.
they'll point you to.
The direction. Where
No, but I'm saying, well, let me rephrase. So for them to hand out live cash or a check to you at that moment, there's a cap. So if they don't, if you like say for instance, the cap is $5,000. You come in as a business owner and you like your problem is $7,000. What they do, they say, I can't give you that $7,000, but I'm gonna forward you.
No, so they'll get in touch with someone in the
See if they
community
can help, yeah.
that's in that business or in that field, right? And then they'll have the conversation with them and say, hey, Dandy needs a new gate. Even though the gate costs $7,000 and their budget is $5,000, right? They'll say, but the budget is $5,000. Do you have a gate that so and so
that
costs
fits
for
$5,000
that budget?
Okay.
And then they'll go ahead and do it, and they get the check. So she, as the business owner who has a problem, doesn't receive the check.
They're gonna
Never
give it
any
to
money handed
right.
in. Right. That's the.
Whoever solved the problem
That
And
was
the
the
good
other
thing
one.
about it is that they try to keep it in your community. So they'll look
Right.
for someone from Gun Hill to 233rd that could fix your problem. So they're also spending the money in the community to keep businesses afloat. Like,
And this is another thing with the Jewish Chinese, that they keep it within their community. They don't, well, in this within the community, but what they, in the sense of them in their community, they mean they keep it within the family member structure. They don't.
because it's all about keeping, because every I didn't even know until I got with these people that every section has a bid. It's called a bid. Like, it's called a bid. Like, that one is called the White Plains Road bid.
Mhm.
So it's from
So
Gun
it's
Hill
only
to
for,
233rd.
for business that are in White Plains
Right,
Road.
from Gun Hill to 233rd, and then starts a different bid from 233rd up. Like, everybody has
Oh.
their own section.
Oh.
So you will get, say they get $80,000 for the year just for Gun Hill to 233rd. They have to find a way to spend that money before the end of the year is over, or else they'll just go back in the pot, and then they'll say, because it happened I think already, because nobody, they'll say, well, we're not donating money this year because you didn't need it last year. Why would we donate it
It's
more?
like if you don't use it, you
Spend
lose
it, you lose it. You
Right,
like you have a
and they'll give
vacation.
you less next year
Right,
because
'cause
you
you
didn't
don't
need that
need it,
much
right.
last year. Why do we? So
Why do we need
right,
this much this year?
I feel like they're doing a bad job at informing or
Yes,
advertising
I
this,
say that all the
because
time.
I wasn't aware of this until you just spoke about it. Were you
Yeah,
aware?
today
I
when
said
you
that
talk.
too, and I'm
Were
with
you
them.
aware of it? Because I think you should have like been at
I mean,
some
that-
meeting.
Yeah, that
know?
would be beautiful.
And-
Again, getting being in these meetings, and at least. But the other thing is, I don't have a storefront.
It
No, you don't
doesn't
need
matter.
a storefront. You have
Okay.
you have
It
a
doesn't matter
business.
because you
right.
have people that are virtual. They have the it doesn't matter as long as you are a business entity.
Mhm.
It does, yeah. You don't have to be storefront.
That's fascinating. I mean, it's something that
Right.
I think all of us business owners who
Should know, and that's
trying to
something-
start,
right.
who
We
have
could invite
something
them.
there.
We would definitely like them to come on the show and talk about this, and it could be a form of advertisement for the company also.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if that would be possible at the end of the day. But one of the things I want to ask you, from your business structure, how do you find? We know when we sit outside and we go into a business entity and we spend our money and stuff like that. We see they exchange cash. You get your product, you go about your business and so forth. So to you, not from the outside, you're looking at things like, oh, this can be done. But what is the back end? How difficult running the business, keeping your finance structure, you keeping your accounting balance out, keeping inventory and so forth. How is it? Is it something that is really challenging or?
Challenge. Oh my God. So I don't know if Mike will tell you. I think I'm Superwoman. I don't know. So
I think you're.
with when I had the store, the beauty supply store, I was my own accountant. I ordered my own stuff. I packed my own stuff. I sell my own stuff. I was everything. Still with this store too, the ice cream store also, I do everything.
Mhm.
Then not only with that, with this ice cream store, I have an 8 to 5. That's what you would call it. I have a regular
9
like
to
a
5.
job
A really 9
besides
to
my
5.
business. So I have that. Then I have the store. Then you still gotta live life, So
Mhm.
it becomes a lot. Like, I mean, mentally, it's a lot.
Is it by choice or
It's
something?
by choice, so I don't try to burden anyone with it. But there are days when there's silent cries and silent tears. Like, it's real, especially when stuff get hard or things get hard or you need help with something that nobody can help you with, and then you're like, who am I blaming? I can only blame myself. I wanted this.
But so you use the term, you don't want to burden someone else. But I mean, if you're hiring someone to help you, to
No.
assist you,
Well, yeah, that when I say burden someone else, like most of my business before and business now, like I had hire someone, but a lot of time my kids help out. I have big kids, So they help out a lot. And sometimes I feel like if I tell them to do too much, it's like, why am I stressing them? They should be living their life. This is my decision to, even though we would think that they would want to be like, oh, this is going to be for me later.
Right. Yeah, some of them don't think
these
that
kids
way.
are different. They're not really into that.
I think Chinese.
Yeah.
They're
kids,
the ones.
African kids
They're
and
taught
Chinese.
that from an early age.
Yeah. But, other than that, I want to say I love it. Michael know me from eons. I love business itself. So I'm always thinking of something new to do, it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not sleeping, I'm thinking about business. When I'm not, it's just, I could go anywhere and doing anything, and a business thing just come to me about that thing that I'm doing at that time. So it's kind of hard to get it out my head, even though it stresses me a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But I always look at the bigger picture. To me, it's gonna be one day rewarding. You understand? So it's like, for me, it's gonna be rewarding one day. So let's see. The ice cream thing is a new thing for me. It's really way out of what I'm used to, but I think I got it down a little bit.
Yeah. Welcome back, foreigner.
Yes, people. Great Jabbar.
Great Jabbar, the Slayer,
Book.
is back in town.
How you doing?
Our guest.
Dandy, we are
Dandy.
talking about it. You know Dandy, right? You know everybody.
Come and think of it, right?
No, this is my first time seeing her.
Right. Yes, she's a local business owner. White Plains Road. She had a beauty supply store and an ice cream store. She sold a beauty supply store for $1 million.
Oh,
Now she have an ice cream.
You better stop saying that.
And probably
People
gonna
come
sell it
looking
for
me.
$2 million, right?
Right.
It's not true.
So yeah, so like yourself, you're a business owner. She was just informing us
Yeah, cars. Well,
about organization, a non-profit organization called MPC. MPC that helps local business owners.
Small business.
So, for example, you're in the business of
fixing cars.
Fixing cars, right.
Yeah.
what you
we
call
was
it,
just talking about
right?
yeah.
So at the meeting now, when you go to the meeting, they'll connect you with everyone who needs your car to be repaired or need to be fixed.
everyone, or
Like within the group that they know in the community.
when
and-
you say that, it's like they'll ask you what you need help with, basically. Yeah, but it don't have to be just that community. We just talking because I said Gun Hill's the thing, but
Yeah.
Let's
it
say
won't just be that community.
if you need some equipment for your business.
I mean, it's pretty much like networking, right?
Yeah,
Like,
see, you got it already.
But
Yeah.
the thing
Yeah.
is, the
Working,
thing
yeah.
with this company too, what we discover is that
The right
if
checks.
you need, let's say you have a storefront, or even without a storefront, and you need certain resources, like you need this $1,000 tool, the kit, you need this jack, you need this stuff like that. They will come in and you show them that you need it, they will pay for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right. So they have like an account where they need to spend the money.
right.
Right.
To help,
Right.
help small business.
Yeah, to help small business flourish
Yeah.
And
Okay.
grow. Right.
So
So
that's
that
the
is
whole
the beauty
purpose
that.
of the funds.
Okay.
Plus, it's
And if
also a networking.
Yeah, you meet
environment.
other business people, and maybe somebody need a new car and fix their car. It's just
Yeah,
you just said it.
you're right.
Networking is the
Yeah.
right word.
You connect with
You have
a
to
big
know
time
people. You have to
dealership.
know people
Yeah.
to know people to know people.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But coming back to where I was where we left off is that, so if you're running a business and you would say it's sometimes tedious to manage. I think Jabari can chip in too. Is it tedious, or it's just based on? I guess it's probably based on different businesses, because different businesses require more of a thinking mindset, and some require more of a physicality. Where like in your case, Jabari is more
It's more physical, yeah.
I mean, you use your brain still, but it's more on a physical level. In my side, it's more physical, less brain thinking too much. Is more like you're designing something and stuff. But once you finish the design, it's like an architecture building a building. He come in and design the building, and then the construction
Somebody else takes
come in,
over,
right, and they build it from there. So in that aspect is that how is it you would share, how would you say um to the public, I mean, if it's something that someone who want to get involved in our business, what would the steps you would encourage them to take to open up a business?
Which one, the beauty?
I
Which
mean,
one, the
just
beauty?
any business.
Oh.
I mean, if I want to
So,
do
if
garbage truck, or want to go sell candy, or whatever the case may be.
So, do your research. I mean, do heavy research, like heavy research. Make sure it's something that you're willing to dedicate yourself to, because in the beginning, it's always just you, right? It's always you. You can have 1 million people around you, but it's always just you. You're gonna pay the rent. You're gonna pay the bills. You're gonna be, it's your headache. It's a headache before it becomes glory. I'm trying to get to the glory part, but it's a headache
Yeah,
before
tell
it
me about
becomes
that.
glory. Everybody who has a business and started from scratch knows that. Both of my business I started from scratch. I didn't get any loans. I wasn't loaned any money. I did them from saving and scratch.
So, when you mentioned you did it from saving and scratch, I guess you have a time period where you started saving for over 5-year period before you venture into the business, or you just decided I mean, what length of time it takes you for you to take your own money, since you didn't get any loan, take your own money and go get a storefront, go buy these products and set up the shelf? I mean, at what point in time?
So, I guess a 10-year plan with the beauty supply store, because I always had it in my head, I don't want to be here. This is not what I wanted to do. So I figured if I quit, I need to have something to think before I get another job. So saving was part of it. Like, what if I quit? Because I'm a person, I have to pay. I can't owe. So if I decide I quit my job, I want to know I'm
Well, as
okay
a
for.
business owner, that's a part of it. You're gonna
Oh
have
no,
debt.
yeah, but what I mean
Yeah.
is, like, when you quit your job and you sit home and you're not doing nothing, well, how are you gonna eat? How are you
The
gonna pay your
bills up,
rent?
yeah,
Right. So I decided that I wasn't gonna stay with my boss anymore, because I didn't have a personal life. I couldn't even take my kids to the doctor. Like, oh, why you have to go to the doctor? What? Why they need to go to the doctor?
I mean,
it's just
their
like,
mindset is different, Their mindset is just work.
yeah, work. And I was doing that till I was like, no, that's it. I'm done. I'm tired. And then I said I would never go back into that business again. Guess what I did?
Open. your-
Open.
No, I felt like that business, based on my observation, right? Because I used to pay attention. I used to come to the store and pay. So the customers, they loved her, right? When she was absent,
Oh my God,
they would drive him crazy. It's like the communication barrier,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Not only that,
and he doesn't really.
he had like a little short, like he's short spanned, like
You get
have an
upset
attitude
real
fast.
quick,
Real fast.
right? And they calling you
Short-tempered.
Mr. Chin,
Yeah.
Mr. Chin, and you're
Go
not,
away.
you're not Chinese, And it's like,
Yeah.
do I
Yeah.
look like Mr. Chin?
Yeah, and
What if
he
I
gets
call you
upset, and
African?
that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, he would say,
Right.
"Oh, you Jamaican."
So I
like,
understand whenever she's
Short-tempered.
absent,
and
absent,
they would come
they'd be
back
like,
the next day. Like, they wouldn't do anything if I'm not there. They would literally come back the next day. I'm like,
Right. So, and that's one of the reasons why I was so happy when she went to open her own business. But the challenges that she faced, where the suppliers were concerned, and
That
you know,
incident early on, right?
right,
Yeah.
the one I told you, yeah.
yeah, cause that's a real thing, and I didn't know that until she experienced it, because she also helped me to open a beauty supply store in Jamaica, which didn't really go anywhere because of.
You're
You know?
not there. It's
Right,
it's
right. I
easy
wasn't
when
present.
you're- Right. But I told you that. Didn't I
Right.
tell you?
But
Yeah, you
But-
definitely need to be in a business like that. You
But
need to be
I wasn't
physically
here,
present.
so what she experienced was something completely different. I would have never imagined that.
It was
Okay,
real.
I have the funds to purchase my merchandise,
right?
and I'm not able to get it from the suppliers. Right? I would have to go like far for it would cost more. And I have a relationship with these people for years, you know, and like that.
That's where I tell you, that's where the silent tears came in, because I'm like, I did business with these people for 3 years.
And I have a good
I
relationship
never owe
with
them.
them.
I never, like, even the last shipment that I wanted from them before they closed the money was there. And I'm like, that's how I noticed I wasn't getting the shipment, because the money was just sitting there. And I'm like, that's how I just called. And he was like, oh, we didn't take it because we're not going to send it out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So what was their reason for doing that?
Oh, the
So
higher head
they got sabotaged by a different business owner. They had a bigger account.
Yeah.
Let's say they have a 300,000.
But you have to put the culture also in there, because this is also culture oriented decision making.
Yes, yes, but money
pays a part,
money
a big
talks
role,
also.
The money was probably a bigger part of it.
Right, the money talks.
And you know, it's the money talked, but as Michael said, and we're trying to all like sugarcoat it with the fact that it's money. It's not. I was the second. Now there's, I think, a young girl on 230 something, 37, 30 something. I was the only black female beauty supply owner on White Plains Road.
Right.
Why is this girl still here?
At the time?
Right. Because I remember I opened in 2014 and I closed 2024. So
Last year.
it was like, why we couldn't get rid of you? Like, why you was here so long? It's like too much. Why are you still here?
You know what's so crazy? We had an episode that you did mention that when it comes on to like having opening certain business where you know, the majority rules in like what she said, like beauty supply. We know who rules in the beauty supply. You did mention that. That
Chinese.
It was her situation.
that
It
they
came
will,
from her experience.
the bigger accounts will,
Big volume.
and sabotage you once they find
do
out
that.
you are in the same line of business.
Because they own a lot
Shadow,
of story
like a
now,
shadow
and
band.
they're going to agree, you know, because we all Jamaicans here, right? Chinaman come in with a Chinese restaurant. I'm not going to buy. I go to Golden Crust, Gold Star, Blue Cantina, you name it. Same thing, you know, all of us. So who's going to buy from me? I have to close. So there was a Indian businessman who opened a health food store in New Rochelle.
Jewish, I think you're
New Rochelle,
You told me
Wackegil.
about that,
Yeah. New Rochelle, Wackegil in the Jewish community. And he was closed within 5 to 6 months? Closed. Everything was on sale. Closed. Because they didn't support him. Everything else was Jewish owned. The ice cream store, the supermarket, everything except for the Chase Bank. Right?
Chase is up in there.
Right? And who owned Chase? Jews own Chase, right?
No.
JP Morgan
No.
was a Jew?
No.
JP Morgan?
Chase is black
No.
owned, actually.
It's
Nah.
Yes.
JP Morgan.
It's
Yeah.
black
JP
owned.
Morgan is
Yeah.
black?
Yes.
Yeah, you make
It's a lady.
Jamie Diamond, you remember?
Not Jamie Diamond, but JP Morgan.
JP
Chase.
Mark, yeah.
Right.
It's
So
black owned.
that's you're talking about the CEO. Because
I'm talking
No.
about the founder.
but we're talking about you're talking about the owner now.
Yeah,
Right.
the founder.
Yeah, he's black. I forgot his
Nah.
You have the computer. in front of
Listen,
you.
you have a computer in front. This is the challenge we always face. You know, that he's just thinking of because he don't believe that it can be
possible. See,
He
down
just-
in your neighborhood.
Throw it like nah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I found this out a few years ago. Even
You're
though
right. I
I
found this out a
started
few
working
years
for them, but you know,
Right.
you found your mystery yet. But in the
He
meantime,
was not Jew.
so the other question I have is that okay, you mentioned something about you doing also a 9 to 5 and then try to push a business. Is it something that you would
JP
recommend?
Morgan
I mean,
JP Morgan can never be. Or was he? Black? This is the guy, you know. This is the guy, right? This is
remember
the
the audience can't see that.
J.P. Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean anyone can
What year was that,
Google
Michael?
JP Morgan. This was 1837.
Who owns it now?
We are talking about
No,
now.
no.
Or I mean, who
No, it
owns
was-
JP Morgan? Just no.
Yes.
I know who the
probably
CEO
founder, but
the-
who's who owns it now? Like 2025
He passed it on to some type of
organization. And
yeah.
they sold it, right?
in I think it was in 1960 50 something where I think they passed it on to some organization. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta double check my history. And
Yeah, it's owned by J.P. Morgan and Co. So I guess the
Probably still under the
family,
family name.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, still under the family
J.P.
name.
Morgan was never waiting. J.P. Morgan is a Jew. Yeah. And by
Never
now,
black
they
hole.
started
Next
this
time.
whole banking thing, and they control the flow of funds.
Funds.
Wherever
It's
they go.
Definitely.
That's why they call it bank.
Bank.
You know, water flows between banks, right? So the flow of
The
cash,
bank, right?
right?
You're going down the river, down the bank.
But separate and apart from like a big company like Chase, everything else was owned by the Jews. The pub, bar, you name it, was owned by Jews, except for that health food store, and they're big on health and security.
oh, you're talking about in the community where you were
Yeah,
talking.
and they
okay.
never supported that guy. Business was closing in
I-
6 months.
But I'm kind of shocked he decided to do something like because there's
that
no
area,
way.
you gotta,
No,
yeah.
but because they're big on health and security.
But there's no okay. So if I'm open up a company and I am going to do my research to see who dominating
Right, that area.
that community. Now, if there's Jews or Chinese or stuff like that, and especially they're selling the same product, there is no way I'm gonna make a decision to go in that community to sell.
Don't
Well-
say that, because in our community, right, there's a lot of Chinese restaurant and a lot of Popeyes, a lot of fast food restaurant, a lot of liquor store, right? Who consume all of
Korean
this?
store too.
Black people.
Korean stores.
Right.
Yeah.
Who consume all of this?
Black people.
Yeah.
Consume what?
So you get it.
Fast
We
food.
drink a lot of liquor and we consume a lot of fast food,
Right.
right? So when you go into the Caucasian or Jewish community, they're big on security and health. So they'll pay the expensive mortgage just to live in a safe neighborhood, security, right? And they'll go to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods and get organic food because they're big on health. So they're not going to look at the pricing, you could get two cheeseburgers at McDonald's,
$6,
right? Or if I go to the
Yeah.
vegan spot, I could get a salad for $25. Or you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? So they'll spend the money when it comes down to health and
and
security. We know we're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna live in that neighborhood because so and so and whatever reason. I send our kids to private school, whatever. But they'll pay to go live in Scarsdale or one of those places. They'll pay the entire money because for security reasons.
Yeah, this is their priorities different.
Right,
in
right,
our
right.
neighborhood, they're worried about the clothes and
Right,
the shoes.
and they're
I'm
weird.
gonna buy a $2 burger, but I'm gonna have a $500
Sneakers,
or
nonsense,
a
right?
$200 sweater. Like, it's different priorities. Like,
Right.
they're setting their foundation for their children.
Yeah, so we spend less on clothing, right, and more on food or whatever the case may
We're
be.
talking about the
The
Jewish.
Jews, our Caucasian people, white people.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, we probably pass a lot of rich Caucasian Jewish people
Listen.
out there every day on the street.
Listen,
because
I was
people
gonna tell you.
landlord.
I was gonna tell you if you saw Michael know this because we used to.
What's his
laugh at
name,
him,
Mark?
Right? Mark.
Mark.
Like, so the landlord that hold partially Gun Hill going up. Like I said, some.
I would
boxes
say
go by-
one half of White
If
Plains
you
Road.
see this man on the road, you would
You
would
think
think he was
homeless.
homeless. He look, his
Seriously?
shoes
Yeah,
is
yeah,
bent
yeah,
to the
yeah,
side.
yeah, you
he's
say-
always
you
he's
mentioned
always
that,
holding
yeah.
a box of pizza and a Pepsi.
Yeah,
I think
you mentioned
Coca-Cola,
that.
I don't remember, but never looked like I'm this. Never. Even I still see him to this day, and he never looked.
Owns half of White Plains Road.
I'd be like, "Hi, Mark." He'd be like,
Imagine.
this is one of the things I did like with Buffett too, because you mean when I first
Buffett
started,
is just cheap, man.
how he's just
Warren
cheap.
Buffett.
Warren
Yeah.
Buffett lives,
How he's just cheap.
lives in the same. Right, so according to the media, right, he goes to McDonald's every day
The
for,
man like McDonald's.
no, he owns McDonald's. Like they have like a lot of shares in McDonald's and Coca-Cola.
So he
Right. So it's a promotion, an advertisement.
So he's pumping
he
in his
promoting
business.
Himself.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
nothing wrong.
So
He's buying into his
I didn't
business.
like that. I didn't like that. At
But
his age,
when you buy into your business, if you
At
own
his
a
age.
restaurant,
Bro, he's just saying at his age you don't need to do that anymore. Like you
No,
have
but also
all, your,
like
you
he
got all
gotta
that
he
money.
gotta rep what he promote. Like let us see you eat it too. We want to
you
know if
could
it's that
get
healthy.
if you
But I
if,
mean, not
We
every,
wanna know if it's
but I
that-
mean, not every day though.
Well, he showing
every
his support. right?
morning I go to McDonald's. You know, I give them $10. They give me back. I go
Do
to
they
work.
know who he
yeah,
is?
I drive the same old car.
They know who he is though. When he
Yeah,
goes
they
in.
know who he is. I feel like that was for sure.
Right.
Because the mayor of New York did that once. I forgot the name of the mayor. He took the subway,
Yeah,
you know,
Bloomberg.
on camera.
it was
yeah.
Bloomberg. Yeah.
Oh,
That
I
I
knucklehead
take the
to-
subway every day. I started that one a long
It's a
time
fashion.
ago.
To only take $1 for
Yeah.
pay and whatever.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, right. Whatever.
and he was on like a $200 budget for the week. He bought bread, bought some eggs, bought orange
200
juice, bought
US. US.
milk. Like people are stupid.
Exactly. I mean,
He
you're
probably
a
don't even know what
millionaire,
milk
actually
looked like
billionaire at
from
the time. Because when he came in, he was a millionaire. Then
He was a
before-
billionaire when he went in. He went
He
in
was a
with 1
billionaire?
billion and left with 10.
He was a billionaire when he went in. I thought he was a millionaire when he went in.
1 billion. He went into office with 1 billion and left with 10.
Like
or
10.
12.
I thought it was.
And he only got paid $1.
Why your favorite person don't do that?
Oh,
The man.
Trump.
Yeah, why he don't say, let me take just $1 pay
No,
for the
I
year.
think he does.
Ben.
He's taking
$1 pay?
You brought that up one time at the last show, and I did research, and I can't find anything whatsoever. That man is so greedy. Trump take $1.
Hey.
You must be nuts. God will
I
return.
don't- Wait,
Come on.
did
like is the president's salary is like 400 and something
400,000,
thousand, right? 400 and something thousand. Trump.
don't
What is that to Trump?
makes
What
it-
can you
he
do with that
makes
for the
it-
year?
But either
So
way, he's
donate
still
it then.
not
Let-
going to take
Let me
$1
tell you the
for his pay.
benefit. Let me tell you the benefit of being the president of the United States of America, right? You get Secret Service for life.
free.
So that's security that you don't ever have to pay for.
No, we paying for
And your
that.
whole family.
No,
Him.
I'm talking about the
Well,
president.
yeah, I mean, in a sense, he's paying for it too because he's spending and he putting back in society. He paying his
Mike,
tax.
you know what
No,
I'm saying.
that's
Stop
free.
trying to be.
Because all the president living right now, still living, like ex-president or whatever, they still have that security. Their
Yeah.
Oh, they
family
have
still
to. They
that
have to.
Family,
I mean,
They're not
right.
paying
that's not going to change. Once you become a
So
president,
that's the benefit, though.
you are secure for life in the contents
But
of
not for
security.
someone like Donald Trump.
But
Donald
what-
Trump
but-
is a billionaire, man.
But what taxes is he paying though?
Huh?
We still ain't see them financials. So
I mean,
so what taxes?
remember
not-
Still
It's-
can't show that.
Yeah.
Well,
what
it's
taxes?
not by law. You don't
What by
have to show the
taxes?
tax. It's just by courtesy. It's not required. for them.
Every
No, we're
I'm-
talking about before he got in there.
Oh, okay. that-
yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to continue.
Huh?
You want to continue?
what?
Sure.
Yeah.
Continue.
Kind of throw me off. Yeah. So the thing is, I don't see where Trump would that man love money. And I do not see anywhere in the future. I mean, if you possibly, but I don't see anywhere in the future where Trump would take that $1 for a gimmick or for that fashion show or for whatever, just to, even if it's a look, even if he's not gonna do that. This guy, his mindset of how I see him operates is that every nickel counts for him. Every nickel make a muckle and every nickel counts for him, and he's not gonna sacrifice for no fashion show or for him to look a certain way for him. Nah, I don't
He
see
needs
that.
that money.
He needs that money.
Man
And
said he working hard for his money. and I don't blame him. You work, you gotta get paid. Like, but I don't know.
I mean, as what I keep on sharing with Mike, I mean, there's, and I'm gonna not sugarcoat it, there's hell coming.
Yes.
This man here
In a
that
handbasket.
yeah, this man here that set up, and Mike, he keep on crying blood. Oh, things we gotta have to get worse, to get forget
I don't know
better.
how long y'all been going at it, but me and him used to go at it forever about Trump. That's his boy.
I call him Baby Trump. I mean, even on our show, Mike and Mike,
He
we
doesn't
call
mean
it
any
that.
harm, but he just think like Trump would be a better financial, but he's not. He's like he's wrecking us.
Trump was there. He went in office the first time, and all of these turf stuff and stuff like that. So I keep on asking Mike, and there's another colleague of ours that joined us on Mike and Mike named Justin. So I said, okay, so Trump had this in his position when he first in power. He didn't do anything. Prior to that, you have these other guys, Bush. You have Obama, you have Clintons and stuff like that. They still didn't do anything. Now, you are trying to come in and undo or try to fix 1,000 years worth of work in 4 years.
You mean fix or destroy? I'm kind of confused.
But no, well, according to him, he's saying he's fixing. I look at it as destruction because he's not fixing anything. Even his own parties also saying that where you're going is a bad move. According to what even Mike said before, I think this was off record. He said Elon even is disagreeing with him pertaining to this turf war. I haven't seen that, and I don't believe that until I see that come out where he's saying because you look on what Elon is doing, and for him to how Trump operate. If you go and constructively, if you say something to Trump like, oh, you know what, I don't think you should go down, he cut you off. And I keep on telling Mike, he's like, oh, you're living, that's not true, that's a lie and stuff like that. I was like, that's how he operate. He had his own administration even with the first term. And there's a few people came out where they were like, I'm not going into this direction where you're going. I think it's a bad decision. He's all right, you're fired. You get out of here. You're a mongrel. Like, this is how he operate.
You were fired. And that's his thing.
He even, this guy,
I don't want to cut you. You said about the firing thing. I think I was reading today, not on social media. I don't know how true it is that he fired like the White House library.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
This dude is nuts. He becoming a dictator, and this is the direction he mentioned too. In Fox, his own network,
dictatorship.
Yeah. They interview him and they ask him, so if you have the opportunity to become, are you gonna become a dictator? He said, yeah, I'll just do it for one day. Now, you hit it, tasting honey for the first time. Honey is sweet, right? It's enjoyable or something, whatever that you would enjoy. Is it going to be easy for you to let that go? No. So all this move, what he's making right now, everything points to dictatorship. Everything points to dictatorship and his behavior. From his first policy, from his first
I was just gonna say probably it's like vengeance from the first time.
And then again, remember he said it to like everyone. Look on what he did with the insurrection, where he went and freed these guys who kill a cop.
Storm,
when he went and pardoned all these criminals.
Capital,
So you're telling me now that you're supporting violence.
Yeah,
especially towards police officers,
law enforcement.
Yes.
Yeah.
But did you and the new thing what he's saying is that once you kill a police officer, you're getting life. That came out a couple months ago. That he wants to make it law that if you kill a police officer, is nothing else but life you're getting.
Yeah, but again, so that is contradicting his own move because he just pardoned these guys that killed one of those officers.
January 6th.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Storming
what
the
is it?
Capitol.
You can't listen to Trump. He spits fire and water at the same time. He spit fire out and then he spit water to cool the fire and then fire again. You can't listen to
a lot of people in politics, it's like they go to sleep. Even in my job, like it's like you go to sleep and you're like, oh, I think I'll make someone life hell today. Like when you get to work, like it's just like a mindset thing. Like, oh, I woke up today. What can I change to make somebody unhappy?
I don't get it. But I mean, yeah. Oh, So Jabari, from your side of a business, when you look on what you have to do, which I was asking, which you were sharing earlier on, is it something that it is tedious for you to maintain on? Well, you're saying you were jack of all things for yourself, and it was by choice, you mentioned. So from your side of it, is it something that you make decision, you're making any decision of to run your own business by yourself, or it's by some type of a hardship where you don't have the funds to distribute to someone else to help you out?
I mean, honestly, with my craft, I rather do my own thing because nobody is going to like do it like how I do it to how
right.
I want it, and then I have customers that are very picky. So it's like me investing the time to do it correctly. Like there's some things that I would spot, like I know that's not right. Somebody else might not see it, but I see it based on
He's a perfectionist.
so based on my the numbers of years that I've been doing this and expertise, it's like certain things I notice that I know customers will see. Probably you'll get away with it sometime, but not all the time. But most customers that I have, it's like they're gonna see certain shit, so it's not gonna slide. So I rather do my own thing.
Okay, so how you balance it out? Because now it's going to create a little conflict. And the conflict is this. You started elevating successfully where work is coming in like crazy. What do you do from there?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you have time periods where shit is like moving fast and you like have to like put in extra hours to like accommodate the flow of customers. But I mean, for the most part, sometimes you're gonna fall behind, but not all the time. But I mean, there's times where you have to put in extra hours to get shit
But
done.
forget about L. But I'm saying that you hitting that, it's like you eventually find that niche, and you hitting that success route where you're getting 20, 15, 10 cars a day.
Where you
a
need
week.
more of you. Yeah.
I mean,
You can't. You have to go outside.
I never got to that point.
But if you do get to that
point,
point, and you may get to that point.
I mean, if it was to get to that point, then yeah, I'd have to figure out to get extra hands. But actually speaking, after like 15 years doing this, I'm getting out. I'm trying to get into real estate, honestly. Yeah, that's where my vision is steering towards. Yeah. Real estate, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, real estate, it has its ups and downs, and
I mean, in everything have it ups and downs.
You can do both.
You know what? I'm just
Tired.
yeah, dealing with people is becoming more tedious and difficult. I'd rather just steer away from dealing with people, and then I mean, even if I go to my bed, I'm still making money. I want to go to that route, you know.
There's a
Yeah,
club.
it's
some Buffett
yeah.
things. You're sleeping and you're making money.
Dealing with people is becoming very
Wanna be like
tedious.
Elon, as you blink,
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
Because as he blink, he breathes, he's making money.
I'm trying to get to that route where I could, possibly set up something where while I'm sleeping, I'm making money, and I really don't have to deal
about the
with my
stocks?
clients at all. You don't even know that's me behind the scenes of this,
What about stocks? I mean, you sleep, you're still making money, right?
I
Which is
mean,
also you lose at the same time too.
I mean, that's long-term investment though, but it all depends on how, you have it, what kind of knowledge you have, what to buy, what you got to
Real
invest.
estate here in America? Okay. No, why I ask, because I see a lot of development in Jamaica, and people are opening a lot of Airbnbs. and
Bees,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
In Jamaica, right? Yeah.
You could buy a piece of.
I mean,
piece of property and build a little
I
Airbnb.
mean, when I was there, I was looking into Airbnbs while I was there. Yeah, that's definitely on on the on
And,
the
I think in
the
Jamaica
bucket
it's kind
list.
of a little cheaper, like far as like the the labor and it's cheaper to build a house in Jamaica than here, or
Yeah.
buy one and try to sell it.
Yeah,
And
you
it's just,
it is. It is.
I mean, nothing you own here. I mean, you buy a house here, you don't really technically
Really
own
own
anything.
it.
you know,
don't.
just buying to
Yeah.
buy.
You just buy. You're renting. Put it away.
Yeah,
You just,
borrow and
Because
Doing a
borrow.
long-term
crazy,
rent.
crazy enough, even after you pay off for it, if you don't pay your property taxes, they're gonna take
Take
it.
it from you.
So, do you really own it?
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't. It's just a form of fashion.
It's like your
Make
kids.
you
We don't own our kids either. The government own our kids. It's property. Everything is property.
It's great. One of the things I was asking earlier on too is that I remember you mentioned about you have a 9 to 5 too. So how is it work out? I mean, isn't that tedious or can be stressful where you have a 9 to 5 but yet you're still running one or two businesses at the same time? I mean, that require a lot of time.
My 9 to 5. I did say it was I tired and like I be tired. Sometimes I don't know how I myself do it, but I don't know. I guess because I'm used to it, it just comes easy after a little while. But still, it allows you not to have a life because you have to monitor your business. Even if you put someone in it, even if you're there, it's always something. It is tedious, like very tedious. My job, I only been there like a year. I think this September will be 2 years. It's okay. That's like even it's like sanitation work. So I work with the government. I mean, I won't say that. So I work for the city and I do real hands-on work. So it's not like I'm working in an office or nothing. I actually do work. So when I come out of
Hard
there,
labor.
right? Hard labor. I was looking for the word, but I do hard labor, and then I gotta come and leave that. Still pick up my baby, drop her home, and then go to my business. And then I'm there till 9 o'clock. So by the time I get home, shower alone, and get something to eat. Maybe give her like 20 minutes, an hour to play or something with me. And then go to sleep and it starts all over again.
But how now you participate in her education level when you're doing all of this?
Well, she's 2, so she just goes to daycare.
Oh, so she just okay.
Everybody else I have is big. Yeah. Did she go to daycare, pick her up, drop her back? Still, I do that myself. Everything I do myself. So I don't try to get anybody. Meaning, like, I don't try to. Like, my kids are big. Like I said, they have their own life to live. I went back a little after they're big, but so I still try to let them live their life. I'm not gonna say you gotta do this, go do this, da 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 da. Because the first thing I always say to myself, I made a decision to be working and have a business, so I can't put any responsibility on anybody else. They do help me out because I'm here now, and my son is at my business, so they are a helping hand, but not. I don't force them.
It's optional.
Yeah.
I find it sometimes overwhelming because I still do a 9 to 5, and then I have 2 companies running, a production company and a computer firm, which it's I try to do the marketing for it, and because technically I don't want to do a 9 to 5 anymore. I really want to completely just. I try to
We all
do
in
that.
the same boat.
I try to do that a few times. One time it seemed like it was working, where I said, okay, you know what, I can maintain now. It was a few years back, where I said, okay, I can leave this job, this company, and go and stand on my own. But things started fluctuating, and I said, oh, oops. And this is one of the challenging pieces too, and I think this is what probably discourage a lot of people to become entrepreneurs and move forward in these local businesses or small business, or just open up your stuff, because you want to make sure that you're working for a company, you have that consistent cash flow coming in. Now you go on your own, you have to do your marketing, you're the own manager, your marketing, your business, your financial, you are everything. So everything is on your shoulder until you reach to that level where you can now say, you know what, let me hire Tom, let me hire Dick, let me hire Harry, you know, to assist. One can help do this and to balance out the pressure off your shoulder as the owner, stuff like that. But you don't have that luxury. It's hard because now you have to find time, and then it's especially the marketing side, you know, to get your stuff out there. The company what you were talking about, the MPC, it's a good avenue because I mean I've talking today with Mike and this evening actually when we were on the phone, and you mentioned about I was like, is there a program like this around? I mean, it's something I would jump on.
There's a lot of resources, and you just gotta know who, when, where, and that's what I go to the meetings and I let them know. I said, how do you expect people to know about these meetings if you're not going to? They also don't have the time. So I think right now they're trying to. They wanted me to be, but I can't. I have too much
to lead.
They're looking for a person who would want to be in charge of the area. Like I don't want to say a block president. It would be more than a block, but like somebody who wants to like. The only problem is I don't remember if it's a paid position.
I mean, for that type of work, it has to be a paid position. I'm thinking because it's a non-profit organization, right?
Right, but I don't remember that aspect of it. But I was telling her I got too much. I can't because I'm one of the ones that's always at the meeting, always communicating with them or whatever. But I already got too much going on. I mean, I don't mind going store to store if they have flyers and stuff to let people know this is happening. But as far as picking up the spending and that's someone they want. I don't want to do that. I barely have. I have a lot of problem with my own business.
Well, I think what is the criteria though? I mean,
they would have to tell the person, but they were looking. There's one guy. I think he has a drive-in school on 233rd on this side. I'm not sure. He was there. I think he wants to be it, but they were telling him that it has to be like a voting thing, like
like a
election
board
and voting thing.
Okay, that makes sense. I think it would make it fair.
So what they are in charge of is like the lighting on Christmas time, certain things that goes on White Plains Road that we probably don't notice because a lot of people don't care. Like they do the Christmas lights
on the street.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Like any holidays and stuff.
Like how they would do by Fordham where they run the lights
Yeah,
across the
so
street.
You would be in charge of all of that. Like this is a lot of things that I can't be for that.
Is he running a company that does that, or that's what he's in?
He would be in charge. He would be in charge of that
He would
stuff.
be in charge of like say, I run the company, and I need Christmas lights this year. I'm like, we use this, and I told him the guy that they use suck, but that's just another story. Because if you go to Throsneck, if you go to Fordham, there is like the light is like this.
Yeah.
Why White Plains Road we look like we struggling? Like the light look like we dying. Like we, and I bring that up at meetings too. And they were like, well, we've been dealing with those people for years. Okay, so now we need new people. Give someone else a chance because they get paid to fix the light and stuff. Like deal with a different company. Try to find someone else, but I think they said with that you have to be certified by the city, and that's the only people that fix that light. They're certified by the city, so that's the only one the city will let put up the lights. Okay, then I said
there's definitely other people's around this. It's
that,
certified
right?
by the
city.
Right.
So I was like, okay, so if they're not gonna do that, can you tell them to buy brighter lights? Like the lights are there, but they're dead. Like. What purpose they serve if they look like they're dead?
These are the street lights. Street lights, right?
The street lights we're talking about, they're gonna fix. They want to fix those, but we're talking about like when Christmas holiday time comes when they those lights.
Lights, yeah.
Oh, okay, got you.
That was my thing with them about like who's in charge of this area because we look like we're struggling. Like it just looks like depressing. Like it's just no joy in White Plains Road from there. Yeah, it's just. I know we are struggling as a community, as a nation, as a whatever, but I think brighter lights are more. It would uplift people more, like change the emotional state. I would say then. It's so they're like well, we want to do all of this for the community and the area, but who's gonna do it?
I don't know.
We're only to make their thing is only based to make make the awareness be aware that their funding is there. They need like a community leader. You ever see? Okay, when I watch Bronx Soul News a lot, and they'll show like Throg's Neck. I say those bits because I watch and I see like you'll see a community leader be out there with the people. We can't have this here. We're not doing this here. You're building a shelter over there. Who right there in White Plains will say nothing? Nobody. So it's there. Now you got the junkies, the crackheads. Nobody cared when it was going up. So what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, because you don't have no.
Nobody saying no. You can't put that there. No, you can't. No, we don't want this. No. You know.
It can be challenging at times. When I think sometimes people just tired. They can't be. They've been hearing these things for years. Experiencing these things for years, and it just seems like most of the time it falls on deaf ears. So, within that sense, they just like, you know what? I don't give a rat's behind anymore because it's like I can't. It's nothing gonna happen to it anyway. Nothing. I can voice my opinion, and that's the thing too with when a lot of people I always hear talking about, oh, I don't get involved with politics.
Yeah,
you live and breathe politics every day. It doesn't mean because you vote or you go and not vote. That means you probably would consider. I think that's what they're thinking about, considering that is. Direct politics.
Caring for your community is not politics.
What I mean, if you're say for instance you vote and you keep on voting and you see no change, that's going to be encouraging because like why am I even wasting my time to go do that when there's no change? Every time I say okay, I'm a vote, there's no changes behind it. That's going to be discouraging,
It will be discouraging, but remember.
And a lot of people, it's like, why waste my time?
Rome didn't
with,
build in one day.
With voting or without voting, I still got to get shit done. I still got to get it done. So why waste my time?
Okay, so
I got to get it done regardless.
I have a thing with that too, right? So I work for the Board of Election. I only do when it's like major, like I did the presidency. I work with them and it's shocking to see. I think before the presidency there was a next election, and if I told you 10 people showed up to vote, I would be lying. I think it was mark of 9
for the local
before the presidency. And then for the presidency, a lot of people showed up
because you can see the people.
But what you don't understand is presidency count, but the local is what really matters.
It's what
because it tells what happens it helps what happens in your community, in business, and the local elections are what really matter. The big, presidency is a big thing, but like the local elections help your community, and people don't show up for it.
And that's the core of when it comes to the election itself, especially for supporting. The presidency is fine. That's on a federal level where they deal with on a global scale. But you talking about the presidency is not going to sit there and say, all right, you know what? I need community A, B, C in the Bronx, B, D in Queens, and then I go to DC the same. They're not going to do that. This is where the local politician, the local elections.
That's what help your community.
That's what's helped the community, and this is what you have to invest in. I do sometimes not to be a hypocrite at times where when there's local election, I lose track of it, and sometimes it's because I didn't invest enough time to see who is the candidate that I'm going to assist or help put in place for them to make my life much easier and my kids or my family or my friends and stuff like that. So sometimes I reach to the point where I don't vote in that sense. But I realize that it can be a bad thing.
It is a bad thing.
It is a bad thing.
You see the ballots? On it, they tell you we're all three running, right? Mm-hmm. You could vote. Somebody could vote for all three of us or none of us or whatever. But in the back of that ballot is stuff that happens in your community. All right. Say for example, they was gonna put a stoplight here. Vote yes or no. You're gonna put a stoplight there. Nobody voted for it. You didn't want it there because it brings or you want it there because it helps from
preventing certain things from happening. Right.
Nobody voted for it. It's not going there. there's a lot of things behind the voting thing besides the candidates that are for the city, for your area, for the local stuff that need to get done.
Right, that I've
And a
discovered
lot of
a
people
few years
don't
ago. Yeah.
vote and don't come up. There's no check on that box of what's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yep, especially when you like a scenario that you using, especially for those stoplights. I mean, if you have certain amount of crimes in sense of vehicles, accidents, et cetera, where you need a stoplight or a stop sign there and stuff like that, and you have, I mean, the city also is a reactionist. They're not a preventionist in the sense of where I think they see some of these problems at hand and they
But they
can
have to
put
hear about
things
it too.
in place to prevent it from happening. But they don't do that. They wait until 9, 10
happens.
people die or something like that
Right.
before that. Oh, you know
We
what?
really need a light
Yeah,
there,
we
yeah.
need a light there. You know, I'm like, you morons. I mean, you couldn't see this from, but it's when you look at this, and it's sad. You look at it. It's from a political orientation structure, because when they see this thing, I think it has. I may not see the picture at this present moment, but I think it has something to do with some type of benefit of them not putting this thing here. But you know it's gonna cost life, or you know it's gonna cause a problem to the community, or you know it's gonna do some type of create some type of obstacle. Why? My slogan is prevention is better than cure, right? If I something I can avoid, I'm gonna try to work of trying to do it. Now there's a situation where you may not avoid a situation, that is understandable. But if you can avoid certain things, why not doing it and then put yourself to a trauma of trying to fix it
If
after?
nobody voted, they don't care.
It is crazy. I
All right.
don't get it.
Perfect example, right? We have businesses on White Plains Road, and the bike lanes, they affect us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the bike lane, it makes it hard for people who are driving to come and stop into your business, because they're like, there's no park, I can't be bothered, and drive somewhere else, right? So when they voted for because I researched this, and even with the people that I work with MPC, they were like, I was like, so when did they put this here and why? Who voted for this? The only guy who showed up at the meeting when they had a vote for it.
For a bike lane.
For the bike
Okay.
lane that run all the way up
Yeah,
White
The
Plains
Plains Road, yeah.
There was actually a vote for people to come out and vote for it, and only one person showed up. Guess who it was? The person who wanted it there. Literally, and when I heard that, I was so shocked. I was like, well, I didn't know about the voting thing. What do you mean? I wouldn't have wanted it there.
But the funniest thing is now they complain about the bike lanes because
One person
Yeah,
voted
and
and
you
they,
see the
they
bike lane
transformed White Plains Road
Into a
bike.
catastrophe.
That's what we.
'Cause I don't half the time
Wow.
the people don't even use the bike lane.
9 out of 10 they don't use it. I mean, I'm on White Plains
They're
Road a
riding
few
in the
times
middle
and
of the road.
They don't. They're in the middle of the road or stuff like that. And then the way they structure this place, it's all about money making when it comes to the city. Because the city, I think, and I'm assuming people, I'm thinking that they are putting these things in place to force you and I for public transportation.
Yes.
The nonsense with Oakland where she supported and Trump. This is one of the things I don't like Trump, but this is some of the things I respect. As what I told with Mike, I give where credit is due, and this is one of the things Trump never supported. No, whatever craft or whatever manipulation he has in the back end, why he don't like it or whatever the case may be, but for me, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the city. It's a good thing for us as people who live in the city at the end, because if there are times when recently I had to go down to B&H. This is one of the Jewish technical store. They sell a lot of video cameras, technical stuff, advanced technology and stuff like that. And I reached to the point I was like, hell no, I'm not doing this anymore. And I parked my car at 60, I think below 60th Street. I drove my car and hit 72nd Street, parked that sucker, jumped on the train, went down, because I'm like, I'm not paying this $9 or more, because I was running back and forth. This church, I started setting up their media industry, telecast, streaming stuff like that for 1 and 2 churches now, and they gave me the ability to buy the products as well. So B&H is one of my go-to suppliers, and I go and drive my vehicles, and it's like for the last church I did, I went into Manhattan about for 5 days, because they close on Saturdays. So for the 5 days, I went in the Manhattan about 8 times after work or something like that. Boom, boom, boom. That's $9 a pop.
Going and coming, right? Or is it just going?
No, I think you just once you go down. Once you go down. So I also discovered now that the only way you can avoid that is less if you go like in the West Side Highway or the FDR. As long as you stay on, which the West Side Highway is 12th Avenue. So which also the light, they have lights. But as long as you stay on 12th Avenue, the moment you deviate and come over to, it would be 11th Avenue, you get snapped. Same thing on the FDR. If you stay on the FDR, you don't come off and you go to Brooklyn or even if you get off going to Queens, the moment you get off, because you know the 59th Street bridge,
Right at the-
you get snapped. So for me, I go to Brooklyn occasionally, and when I have to do either business or go help my friend out, when I do go there, I stay on the FDR and I take me right to the Brooklyn Bridge, which these greedy bastards were thinking of putting tolls on the bridge as well.
I only take the FDR. I'm sorry.
It's crazy. I don't
It's
know.
a little longer drive, but I feel like it's a little longer.
What, the FDR?
Yeah.
I'd rather burn that gas before I put it in
Right.
tolls. I don't know. Maybe some people, it doesn't make any logical sense. That there was a story where this guy, he went Jersey to buy cheap gas because gas is cheaper in Jersey. So he would go over there and he would
Fill up his thing.
go to fill up his tank. So he's gonna burn about maybe $50 worth of, or say $20 worth of gas to go fill up his tank for $30.
Plus pay.
Oh,
Plus pay
I could
toll.
have. I could
Plus
have.
pay
pay
toll.
toll.
I could see it if he brought
Plus
like
the pay.
containers and he
Yeah,
had to. but
containers.
that's kind of
correct.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say he brought containers to put it.
I'm sitting there like, bro, you just understand what just happened, right? And he swear to him and he's like, oh yeah, I'm saving, man, I'm saving. Just the toll alone is gonna murder
My
you.
daughter tried to tell me to do that one.
$20. Yeah,
That's
word.
a waste
20,
of time.
Yeah,
She's like, Mommy, the
$20.
gas is cheaper in Jersey. Why?
Yeah, so
You
you're
gotta
gonna
bring
go
a
over there
whole-
and burn the $20 to just to go spend $20.
less. Yeah.
But
I don't get it.
Unless he's
some
cheating.
people-
Unless he's cheating the toll.
and that I don't.
do that nowadays.
You can't do that. I mean, these guys are cracking.
The fine is bigger than it.
They know they taking your car now.
Right.
They finding out that you're doing these schemes or you're blocking your plates.
I
and you're
seen. I go to up by what's that precinct? I think it's up by Williamsburg up in White Plains. The precinct up in White Plains, and in the parking lot you have cops in there with license plate covers on their car. Yeah, and I'm like,
Is it hypocritical?
ain't that a motherfucker, huh? You got a license plate cover on your car, and then you're gonna pull somebody over on the highway for a license plate cover, right?
See the hypocrisy,
Yeah.
right?
But this is what they do all the time.
And they're parking in the precinct.
This is
with
what they do
those
all the time.
Stuff
And
cover
they go
covering.
through the, things.
Yeah, they don't pay for toll because it's the same thing that regular civilians would use to cover their license plate. So it's called toll invasion.
But
yeah.
the question then is this: since you bring this up, if the person who's in charge of those cameras that snapping your plate, right,
Yeah.
and this police officer driving through the light, they snap his picture, it goes into the system. The person who is running the system, whether it's AI or whatever the case may be, build the system up now and say, okay, this car, we need to build it to run to the plate, or we need to go find this car to penalize them, or whatever the case may be. They find out it's a cop. What they do?
You can't
Hey, brother,
find
move on.
you can't find the car if you can't get the plate.
Right.
So the plate, the stuff what's on there.
The plate is
It
blurred,
doesn't matter,
so
yeah.
you can't
okay.
you can't find the car.
Because there's a lot of cars like your
Yeah,
car.
there's not only one
can
car.
narrow it
same
down,
car.
you know.
No,
It
you
has to be
can't.
something specific on the car.
Even if it's something specific, where you gonna locate that address? There's no
car, right?
address to locate anything, so it's a ghost car.
Yeah, it
Once
could
the
be
plate can read.
Somebody could come
Listen,
from Florida.
Let it be like a murder and find your ass.
Yeah, if it's murder, that's what I was saying. They will find it.
I mean,
They
I
will
mean,
Even
find-
by your tires, your skid mark,
I mean, yeah, that's but
because
trust
number one,
you're not gonna
remember,
go in depth
they're
for
gonna
that.
they're gonna
For
try to.
tolls.
If
Yeah.
let's say for instance the incident happened there, what they're gonna do now, they know that they may have cameras down this side, down
Catch
this
you at
side,
every
down this side. So
angle.
they say, okay,
they
you know
follow
what?
you, yeah.
You leaving here at this, you happen to get this flash at this moment in time. So let me scan these cameras here,
Right.
and see what direction
turn you made,
You
what-
turn, and they're gonna do
Each
those
camera pick
paper
up, yeah.
trails until they find it.
I mean,
Today's
for,
technology,
for murder they'll do that, but
Yeah,
for
not for
tolls,
ticket,
for
yeah.
for tolls, they that's
That's in depth,
yeah
'cause they
that's
have to pay
yeah,
someone
but
to
it's,
sit
yeah,
there and
federal,
do all
yeah,
that.
to
Yeah.
do all of that stuff.
Just for,
I mean, if
a
it's
$9
federal, then they're gonna find you.
but
That's
you
a
can pay a
fact.
$9 ticket.
Ticket, the word.
just to avoid. I don't know, man, but yeah. So yeah, I think today was a good topic. We're talking about business wise and how to move forward, or just to as what Dandy said before, that we have this business or this organization that can help you if you want to, if you're in business already, or you want to. Yeah, so the question is, kind of cutting myself off, would this company help for someone who doesn't have a business, then they want to get into business? Would it help to support or you standing or creating something
I think that part, maybe they'll lead you to where you can get help to start a business. So, I mean, help is still going to try to help you.
Right, because you need some type of funding also
Right.
to fund. You have to pay for your licensing, your to create the
They
the business and
probably
so
find you
forth.
resources of like where you can go to make it easier for you to
Mm-hmm.
do what you got to do.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's a good thing, people. So for you out there who would love to want to become an entrepreneur or want to open up your own business and hopefully maybe
There's help out there.
Yeah, there's resources out there, because I never know about this, and now I'm gonna jump on that sucker like white on rice, because that is helpful. I mean, if you have some issues and you wanna, you may want some production equipment. Like myself, I would like to get some more production equipment and stuff like that to benefit myself, to help my business to try to grow, to market myself out there, and I need certain amount of resources, and they can provide that. You can't beat that.
Help is help.
Help is help, at the end of the day. So it's a good thing for me to find out. And, for you guys, for you out there who want to do business, who want to open up their business, or they may have challenge in there and may thinking about it, it's like, it's hard work. It is hard work.
You have to work.
It's hard work. But they said,
It's definitely more than an 8-hour shift.
yeah, I mean,
That's for sure.
24 hours.
you're going to have to put time in.
Keep the business on my head.
You're going to have to put your time in.
Yeah.
Right.
You
No
don't,
one's gonna give it to you,
Yeah.
so don't come with that mentality.
all these successful business out there,
Definitely
they
a sacrifice.
cry some blood. They shed some tears at nights. You don't see what they go through. Now they live in their benefit, but it's not something that happens overnight.
Definitely.
Occasionally you may have one and two individuals
Lucky people.
who are born with their spoon in their mouth. Trump family, Trump himself, and so others. Because all his wealth he was passed down to him, from his father and stuff like that. So it's not all of us doesn't have this capability and this luxury to have this type. So in other words, you have to work. You gotta work for that business, and you're gonna work and build that up.
Oh, I think there was something I wanted to. So I think I can tell you guys too on Juneteenth.
Right?
So they're gonna have something in by Gun Hill right there in that little open space across the street from right. I don't know what to call it. They call it a square right there.
By Fish, Gun Hill and Fish right there by the gas station.
No, Gun Hill and White Plains Road.
Oh.
You have Golden Cross on this side and you have Popeyes on this side, but there's an open space in the middle.
Oh, you're talking about where the bus stop, the train
Right.
station
So
reside.
for
Okay.
Juneteenth, they're gonna have something out. The Juneteenth march is gonna start from I think 30 something come down, and they're gonna stop. They normally stop at Gun Hill, right by the train station there, but they're gonna stop in that square instead. So they will be having like free stuff out. I think they're having an event day. It's gonna be free ice cream. I'll be there. Um, they did hire me
Free
for
ice
that
cream.
event. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they hired me for that
For the
event,
event,
so I will be.
That's
out
why you
there.
said free ice cream. Okay.
Yeah, they hired me to give out free ice cream, so that'll be there, and I think a few other businesses will be there. So if you are a business and you have a table and you feel like you want to come out and promote yourself and do what you got to do.
When is
yes.
this? Well, you said Juneteenth.
What is that? The 20th or the 19th?
I think it's the 19th.
Yeah,
19th,
I know
19th.
it's a so I think it's a Thursday.
Usually, I was about to ask you that too. When they and what time? Because work.
I would have to get back to Michael with that information. I didn't come prepared for that, but
Yeah, Juneteenth is the 19th. So and that's
it's
a Thursday.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're having the march that they do since they had the Juneteenth, and it's gonna stop right there. So they'll have a few things out there, including me. But I don't know. I can't see.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, as you as she shared with you folks, Juneteenth, which is June 19th, they right there at Gun Hill Road and White Plains Road, where you have the 2 and the 5 train pass going downtown, uptown, right in that little location. I think there's a little bus depot too where the bus stops. So right there at that corner, actually the time. What's the time?
Well, I was trying to find the information, but I'm gonna have to get back
Yeah.
with Michael.
So
so much stuff through my phone.
We will promote that. I mean, even if I put it underneath the this video, what we the information once we receive it, we can put it under this video once we receive that information, so you guys would have access to it as well. But
Right.
it is, yeah, utilize that. It is a good. The business is good. It's something that would help us as especially a black business owned community to help us grow, and we need to unite as a black community. We need to unite.
Right.
We have a lot of them out there doing it. You see the Jews are doing it, the Chinese are doing it, the Arabs are doing it, and they're successful up to it. Why we cannot, as a black American or African Americans or whatever you want to call it, we need to follow those principles. We need to follow those guidelines. And this is how we're going to be successful. Stop trying to tear down each other. If I see Jabari is climbing, I should be able to go underneath and put my shoulder and push him up. And then hopefully when he reach up, he will say, Mike, here's a lending hand, and pull me up too. Yes, I would stay with reality, because you have some people who, when they climb, they're like, who are you again? And totally forgot about you when you also help assist them to rise. So yes, I do understand that. But how often you find that? You don't find that a lot. You 1 and 2 people who just, their mind is on a different page, would have some type of a criminality mentality, at the end of the day. But people who are sincere and business orientated and looking for success, they're not going to do something like that. They will stand with you and they push you up. But anyway, we come to the ending of our show, and we thank our guests, our brain freeze again, for Dandy to lend us our knowledge and share with us. We definitely gonna have her sometime again on the show. But thanks for Jabari to come out and share the 2-piece about his business. And again, Jabari has his own car business. So if you need, I think I need a bumper too. If you need any handiwork, he's very, as what you said, he's very petite, crafty, pay attention. So if you need something, a job need to be done right, this is the man you talk to. Jabbar, share with them, how they can reach you and what they need to do.
So it's Trill Automotive, 3770 Merritt Avenue,
And
Bronx, New York.
Bronx, right.
That's in the Bronx, and my cell number is 914-384-5603 if you need to get a hold of me.
Definitely. You just bring your car there, tell him that you hear it from the garage, and he will take care of you. He will give you at least 90% discount. And Dandy, so you share what is.
I wanted to bring this up. This is I know you're ending, But this is one of the things for women in business. Like they're having a it's called MWBE Certificates Seminar Series. It's a class. I didn't, to be honest, made it there myself, but it's a class where they talk about business, but at the end you receive a certificate that makes it easier for you when you're applying for a loan for a business as a Black entrepreneur woman. It's easier for you to get a loan. So there's stuff like that out there.
Yeah, I'm aware of the Jersey had something where I think Jersey, one of the things I like with Jersey too,
passed,
they
was good.
push.
I thought it was the 28th, but it was April 30th.
They push. I forgot they call it women's
empowerment, right?
or something like that.
Business empowerment.
Yeah, they put a lot of investment into pushing women out
they find
there
that,
to
like
have
I
their
said,
own
with
business.
me as a woman business, it's harder for us to get. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a sexist thing or a color thing, but when you're a woman, it's harder to do business. Very harder.
It's hard
business because you have male. I've experienced it even now with my present landlord. Like they try to lowball you, and sometimes they don't know how smart you are, or they just think you're stupid. So, women have harder time to do business.
Right. I mean, it applies across the board too when it comes to leadership too, because you're looking at too from a leadership standpoint. You don't find a lot of CEOs. It is a woman. You don't find a lot of women that in high position. They're out there, but it's just minute. It's just small, because I think one of the things I think what I hear in the industry coming from male perspective is that most women they operate on too much emotions. And that's
I don't want to say that. That's absolutely not true, because I've known women who are business. They're like worse than men, like shark tycoons, like So they really don't. It's just a mindset thing, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just. You have good women business leaders out there that surpasses, and I think there was a study. I think Mike revealed on our last show too that women always surpasses men intellectually. Even today, when at the church where I attend,
just say it. We're smarter. don't.
You guys. From babies, right, you guys.
We're literally smarter.
Excel. We as male, we used like after 4 years, we started saying dada. Meanwhile, you guys after 2 weeks. They're like, Mama, Dada, hey, what's going on?
Even with kids, like I have 5 kids, so I find the girls they potty train faster than boys.
That is true.
They just more advanced in general.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I don't know if we're always in a rush to do things. That's why I don't know.
But final thought on to share with the public what you would suggest them to do when it comes to your business, when it comes to trying to open up a business, and what route they should take, and what discipline they should have in a nutshell.
If you're gonna do something, research it. Make sure it's what you want to do.
The key.
Research, and major part. I didn't do it, but it's the major part now. Like good credit is very helpful.
Yeah. Yep. Good credit. Very helpful.
Very helpful. Because nobody gonna lend you their credit. Good credit. Show research. Make sure it's something you want to do, and make sure you decide to commit yourself. Because if you're not committed, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna fall from the sky in your lap.
Commitment is everything, and it's going to take time. Time is the key to all.
Yep.
Master. You could rush till the sky is black. It's going to be the same answer in the night.
Yeah.
It's just, you got to want it. That's it. And my most important thing, I wear the t-shirt all the time that says, just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Jabbar.
I'm gonna piggyback.
Mike.
Oh, I'm gonna piggyback off, what you just said. You have to do your research. It gotta be something you have a passion for. Because just getting into it for the money, at some point you're gonna get frustrated. Like, yeah, this is really not my passion. You're not gonna put any TLC into it, you know. You're just gonna be doing it for the money, and by the time you know it, you're out of business.
And you lost money.
Money,
You lost
yeah,
money.
and yeah. So it got to be something that's a passion.
Worth it.
Yep. There was
And every idea ain't good ideas.
yeah, that Mike can tell you that too. You know, there's some ideas, and you know, you're going to run into a wall at times, and it doesn't mean that because you run into this wall, you should just drop your hands. It's a way of probably pushing you back to think, to analyze, to restructure it, and knowing that, okay, you know what, I can't go left. So it's more likely right, I need to go. And you may even go right and then you run into another wall. But it doesn't mean that you find these obstacles. Maybe the walls are there to slow you down for you to look on a wider scale and thought process every steps, researching and stuff like that for you to possibly become successful. And remember, this is one of the things I always share people. Having 20 million in the bank or 5 million or 10,000 doesn't mean that you're successful. A successful business also doesn't mean that you need to have 20,000 or 50,000 in the bank or 100 million in the bank. That doesn't make necessarily a business successful. What makes a business successful is your passion of establishing it and maintaining as it goes. That's just my 2 cents. You don't necessarily have to believe or like analyze or run with that. That's just my thing, because I think even in my little warfare with my business is getting ahead, I don't have $10,000 in the bank or $5,000 in like that in the business wise, but I feel that I'm striving and I'm successful in because I still maintain and I still passionately going at it. As what Jabari said early on before, the other slogan I will use is that getting to the business, it's gonna take a lot of work. The thing what I share early on is that do what you love and you never work a day in your life. So if you have that passion, as what Jabari says, and stuff like that, even though you're working for the money, but it's not the primary thing that's going to drive you. It's the passion of running that business or developing that business or launching that business and maintaining it, growing it and stuff like that. That's what is going to drive you. For my stuff is that I love what I do. And if I can do it without having a dollar come in place, I know that realistically, I get up every day and do it. Every day. It propels me, it pushed me to go out there and want, especially when I go to work. I want to be at work because I love what I do. And as I said, if I can live without getting any funds to survive, I need the money to survive. So other than that, but if it was a situation where I can go to work, do whatever I do, and I don't get paid and I survive, it wouldn't bother me a bit. I tell
people this all the time with business, and I use food as an aura because we love our bellies. But okay, so you have a restaurant, right?
Uh-huh.
If you keep your chef happy, and I don't mean do anything, but you keep your chef comfortable and he cook your food good, people are always gonna come to your restaurant.
Correct.
But if you don't like to pay your chef and he's not happy, your food is miserable, nobody's gonna come to your store. Guess what? You're out of business.
True.
Just like that.
So it's and sometimes keeping them happy don't mean necessarily with money. Treat people right.
Respect, love, caring.
Happy chef, like how they say happy wife, happy life.
Chef.
Happy chef, happy food. So it's always a motto. Treat people how you want to be treated, for yourself to be successful, for them to be successful. That's it. Respect carry you through the world, no matter what it is and who you are.
Yep. Well, people, thank you for joining us. We are delighted that you take your time out to visit us and to watch us and interact with us. You have the ability to interact with us, even though we are live or even though you're not here, you still can interact with us by making posts on the video itself. Once we put it up, you can share your comments and your 2 cents and stuff like that underneath that video. So we thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your grandmother, your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your uncle, everyone. Please share. We cannot do this without you. We are looking for your support, and we continue looking for your support. Thank you for those who subscribe, and we are growing little by little, but one of these days we'll make it there, up there with those big numbers and stuff like that. And you would also benefit from it, because we're gonna
bringing you information.
We're gonna give you gifts, there's some iPhones, some tablets, maybe even cars too, once we reach that level.
We might know some people.
Yeah.
Get connected.
We're prophesying now, so we would like for you to continue giving your support and share and spread the word with us. But thank you again. We thank Dante for joining us. We thank Jabari for coming off his $1 million vacation, where myself can't afford to go, but coming off his yachts and his
had a vacation since 2012. Oh my God, that's what happened with business too. You can't go nowhere.
yeah. You if you don't have anyone supporting or helping you out, you 24 hours into that. So yeah. But again, thank you, people, and
Much love and respect.
much love. We'll see you next time. Peace out.